Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, dial 896 to reboot the internet. 7 months into my first help desk job, I feel sad for getting somebody fired yesterday. It's not always on and off again, it's did you pull the lever? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Dial 896 to reboot the internet. Back in the beginning of my consulting days, I had a lot of small clients. Usually just offices of 4 to 10 users with basic needs. The pay wasn't great, but the work was consistent. These companies never could afford a decent MSP and didn't have the revenue to support a full-time IT tech. So it was either the president's kid did the IT work, and either was really, really good or terrible, never any in between, or some guy who did sales, but knew how a computer worked got roped into doing all the IT stuff. And naturally that got old fast for a lot of these small businesses, so my name worked its way around this subset, giving me a nice base to start my own business. I had this one company. Let's just call it Fastones Incorporated, and I actually have no idea what they did. The only billing I saw them do was simply called professional services, and I was only in the office long enough to fix whatever brought me there. Always thought to this day it could have been one of the CIA front companies you hear about occasionally. But anyway, on to the story. And as always, no matter how you brand your business, no matter what you put on your promotional material, and no matter what name appears on your driver's license, when you are doing IT consulting, you will always be the IT guy. The internet is broken again. That is the entirety of the ticket that just came in. But I know this user and company all too well. Fixing this issue has become something of a weekly occurrence. But for me, instead of an annoyance that means at least a consistent billable hour, and the client doesn't seem to mind paying it. I give the user a quick call and try to walk them through a few basic troubleshooting steps. I know this is probably all for naught as this guy has the tech skills of a caveman, but figured I would give it a shot and justify a visit. And after a frustrating 10 minutes, all of that fails, so it is off to the client. Billing for travel time and mileage now. I need you to reboot the internet. I'm greeted with this brash statement as I enter the user's office. Well, I can't actually reboot the internet, that would be beyond what. As I trail off, realizing there is no need to explain anything to this guy. I have no idea why the internet just goes out every single week. But it always works after you do whatever to it, so just have at it, the caveman guy says, getting up from his desk. I'm getting lunch. So I have half an hour to get this guy back online and maybe figure out more of a permanent fix. A reboot gets him back online, and after checking a few places, looks like maybe the network adapter is out of date, so upgrade that. Otherwise, everything looks fine. Trace back the cable to the network closet, and appears to be good. Tone up the termination in his office, and it is good. I'm not seeing anything readily apparent on why this guy is just losing network connectivity, but every time a good old-fashioned reboot seems to fix it. Maybe the driver will fix it this time for good. Is there any way I can just dial in and reboot the internet when this happens? What an absurd ask, I think to myself when he first asks the question, but you know what, on second though I think I can automate the solution to this problem. Yes, I respond. It will take some programming, but I can make that happen. Good. Do it. I'll tell the boss I okayed the hours. Okay. Tonight I am going to set it up so if you dial extension 896 on your phone and follow the instructions on the voice prompt, it will reboot the internet for you. Hey, that is awesome. I'll let you know if it works. That night, I remote into the company's PBX and set up an IVR for extension 896, which is currently empty. Then place simple voice recording on it to play when dial. Basically it said the internet will reboot in 30 seconds. Save all your documents. Go to the Start menu. Choose Shutdown. Wait until you hear the tone and then turn back on your computer. When your workstation is back up and running, the internet should have successfully rebooted. Then I added a simple beep to play after the voice recording and set the IVR to disconnect. Done and done. Let's see what happens. Popcorn time. The next day. Hey IT guy. It worked, the caveman user wrote to me in an email. My internet went down, I dialed the extension, followed the instructions, and it worked. Thanks IT guy. And to the best of my knowledge, that user used that extension religiously for the next 3 to 4 years until the company mysteriously disappeared one day, ghosting me on my bill too. 7 months into my first help desk job, I feel sad for getting somebody fired yesterday. Have any of you had an employee or customer who simply refuses to believe you're legitimately trying to help them? Almost as if you're specifically trying to F***ck with them and never have them feel like their issues are resolved. Like, you woke up, ate some breakfast, grabbed a coffee, sat in traffic, came to work, clocked in. And now it's your life mission to just make one specific person feel completely miserable with 100% malicious intent? That's how this person has been feeling about me for the last 2 months, ever since I deployed her thin client and shipped it to her house where she works remote in another state. I've built umpteen thin clients and laptops by now. I can do 10 of them at the same time with my eyes closed. All manually too, no scripting or using image files. I know exactly what's on every machine because we get them brand spanking new, and I'm the grunt who installs everything and authenticates new users so that when they receive their sh*t, they're good to go right out of the box. We'll call her Cora because man, she gets on my nerves and is angsty as sh*t when she opens her mouth, but since Avatar: The Last Airbender was so amazing, I constantly give her a chance. Everything she says that's either working or not working, or even things she just observes. Apparently everything tech-related is out to get her. I think she might be a paranoid schizo? I really don't know. Here are some examples of her questions, and her voice is always shaking with triggering anger and upset vibes. It's been so incredibly awkward. Why are my personal files showing up on my work computer? After she had signed into her personal OneDrive on her work computer. Why do I have to go to Microsoft.com to change my password? Every time I try to go there, it redirects me to a different site, and that's something the IT team needs to take care of. I tell her again, because we do everything in the cloud. And it's not redirecting you, it's sending you to the English, United States version of the website. How am I supposed to keep my programs secure and up to date when I can't install them? Because you're not an administrator, and we've gone over multiple times how you are to send in a ticket when you need anything installed or updated. That is my job, not yours. Why does it show I'm signed into multiple computers? See, I told you somebody is in my system. Because you left your machine at home when you went to visit the office 2 weeks ago, and then I helped you sign into a vacant computer while you were there. How come everyone has a VPN and I'm the only one lacking security? Nobody else has a VPN. You're looking at their screen and seeing Norton VIP, which is a token/2FA tool for banking. And you're not in that department. I don't install things that people don't need, and I'm not treating others with more secure machines and not you. That would make no sense. Here's the real kicker, and I'll make it the last one, because I can go on forever with her. Somebody edited the PDF I saved with all my passwords and also edited the email you sent me with all my passwords. This is a compromise of compliance and security, and I've CC'd my superiors on this issue. It's up to the team to fix this. This was the last straw for me. Now she's calling us out for not doing our jobs, of which for the most part there hasn't been much remediating, mostly just telling her, hey dum-dum, everything is fine, stop trippin'. Your sent or received emails aren't being edited. That's not how it works. You saved the wrong email as a PDF. No, I didn't, she said. I'm sorry, yes you did, I would say. And I continued, when I sent you the welcome email, I used a template and I copy and pasted from the last new hire. One of the usernames was incorrect, so I apologized and sent you another one, remember? She'd say, yes, I remember you sending me another one, that's the one I saved. Me, the PDF you saved doesn't have the incorrect username from the first welcome email? Her, yes it does me so. You saved the incorrect email. Her, no, I know for a fact I saved the corrected email you sent after. Denial is weird. Some people just can't get certain things through their heads. Apparently she had been giving her team a terrible time the last few months, and this incident was the last straw after I called to talk to her superior about the fact that I can't seem to get through to her, and I'm doing everything that I can. Always have a paper trail, always explain everything as best as you can. My boss and her boss knew what was up immediately after our last conversation. You gotta always cover your ass and you gotta always stand up for yourself. I rock at my basic help desk job, and I love every minute being here and learning. *CK up on out of here. If you're trying to tell me I'm not doing my job when you're a paranoid individual, that's not my problem. A half hour later HR sends in a ticket to disable her Microsoft account immediately. It's not always on and off again, it's did you pull the lever? I always imagine myself going pull the lever cronk over the phone, but that would be unprofessional. Side note, hope I ain't breaking the anonymity rule. Just pretend you can't see my user. Anyway, allow me to introduce myself to the sub. I am a typewriter repair and service technician by trade. You may be wondering to yourself, who needs tech support for typewriters? Excuse me while I take a break for a hearty laugh. Apparently a lot of people do. So allow me to rifle through my Rolodex of amazing stories of unplugged tech support and bring to you a young man's perspective of a dying and sometimes annoying industry. If I don't get kicked out of here, I have more winky face. Anyway, allow me to paint a picture of a generic portable typewriter. It comes in a case with a handle for portability. However, in order to protect it inside the case, most machines come equipped with a small lever to keep it all locked up. Cue many calls of typewriters not working, which I normally handle with poise and patience, if I do say so myself. However, there will invariably be this old fart who knows more about typewriters than some 21-year-old city boy, because they've been around the block a few times and grew up with them. I have since retired the tirade of I've seen machines you didn't even know existed etc., because it's lame and frankly, unprofessional. Instead I politely ask the age-old question, have you tried turning it off and on again? Which in typewriter language is said as follows, have you unlatched the carriage lock? Oh yes I have, I know how to use my typewriter, every time I press a key nothing happens seller said it was working blah blah blah. Either they bring it into me, and I smugly pull a lever and type away, or I circle it in a photo they sent me. It's really thankless work. Sometimes, yes, it is genuinely broken, hence why everything must be approached with neutrality. But it really is something to see someone who thinks they're all-knowing be foiled by a lever. The levers also apply to paper release and the age-old mimeograph settings, a story for another time. And don't get me started on DIN numbers. God help me.